Hey, what's up, everybody? Chris back with CAC Knives here with another knife review / knife overview of one of my actually top, probably at least 5 favorite knives that I have ever owned or handled. And it is a Kizer today, the Kizer Feweed. Before we get into the video, if you guys like anything sharp, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And it keeps making me do what I do, which is share my collection with everybody. Here's some of the specs. There's the designer there that I wouldn't even attempt to pronounce. And then it is in Z-Wear. It's got the titanium and gold camo handle. It is pretty much 3 inches long for the blade length there. This knife is absolute perfection to me. It's got nice like melted gold carbon fiber, which definitely appear more gold in person than they are on this camera. At least in my opinion they do. Certain lights they appear more gold than others, and of course you got your gold accents there. Got a gold anodized back spacer, gold anodized kind of like thumb stud, but a lot more comfortable in my opinion. Might have some lines on them, surprisingly. Don't know if those are what those are exactly, but yeah, this knife is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, very pretty knife, very smooth. And we're going to get into everything about the review today. But it is in Z-Wear, which is the only knife that I own in Z-Wear. And I'm very happy with this knife. This comfortability, action, carry, everything is just amazing on this knife. Not to mention it looks amazing. It has this kind of different finish on the titanium to where it's more shiny and less what's the word, flat. A lot of titanium comes flat, but this is kind of a nice shiny silver. So what we essentially have is like a gold, silver, and black knife, which I absolutely dig. Awesome combination of colors here, and it's just really pretty overall. Okay, so we kind of showed it up close a little bit. Let's get into some size comparisons, and then we will go over my 5 points of how I view EDC pocket knives. Let's add the QSP Penguin up here, of course, as per usual. And let's throw some different knives up here this time. Let's throw a Finch flint. How about that? We'll throw 2 red knives up here. Red's not very common in the knife world. Let's throw both of them up there. You can see, compared to the Penguin, it is barely longer. Not a huge amount, just barely, but a little less girthy. And the Finch flint is definitely longer. Let's get a few others out here. Let's get the maybe Gordo or Grotto, which is a shorter but stubbier knife. And then let's get the very flashy Mini Crossroads. Let's get a fancy knife out today. Why not, right? We're looking at a pretty clean knife. And as a 5th bonus, let's get the good old CRKT Tuna out here, which is probably definitely larger than this, and it is. That knife is definitely above average. So yeah, it's kind of, I would say this is right in the exact size that a typical EDC carry should be. It's barely bigger in the Penguin, which means it's also barely larger than the Elementum, which I think is over in my case on the other side of the room. But yeah, let's go over my 5 points and let's see where this knife stands. I'm sure you guys know this knife's gonna rate pretty dang high. I have carried this knife multiple times just because I love it so much. So it may actually start to have a little bit of wear on it, but we'll see. The fit and finish is easily a 10 out of 10. Kizer is great on their fit and finish. The tip of the knife is perfect. Those lines are perfect all the way down, and everything is symmetrical as far as I can tell, all the way to the tip. Let's see if it'll focus in a little bit better. It's going to be hard to see the tip on the camera, but all the lines are cut good. There's no sharp edges anywhere, nothing that pokes me, nothing that screams out at me. I do think this is the kind of sharpening that can create a smile, though. Might not create too bad of a smile on the blade there. That's not necessarily a fit and finish thing. That's just how the knife was designed, but just be aware of that. Got some really nice, really comfortable stuff going on in here where the lock bar is, that gives you real easy access to disengage that frame lock. Furthermore, the carbon fiber, which is actually one solid piece of carbon fiber, by the way, it you see how there's these like lines? Carbon fiber goes underneath the lines and it comes out on the other side. So it's actually just two pieces of carbon fiber in there. You just can't really see them. So that's kind of neat. But what I was going to say was the carbon fiber helps prevent you from touching the frame lock. So it kind of acts like a semi-bolster lock if you want to look at it that way. But fit and finish is awesome all around. I see zero problems. I have not noticed anything with my knife that would make the fit and finish lose any scores. So we're going to give it a 10 out of 10 on fit and finish. 2, price for the materials and work. These knives cost about $170. Unfortunately, they're pretty much sold out everywhere as far as I know, at least this version of it is. But as far as I understand, Kizer is making more of them. So more are on the way. But as of right now, I don't think you can get these anywhere except on the secondary. And I have seen a few people post on the secondary and make the prices a little bit higher. But the base price of $170, you're getting a full titanium knife with Z-Wear blade steel and these not very common kind of melted gold carbon fiber inlays with a very nice titanium milled clip and handles. And you know, I 100% think this knife is worth $170. Based on all of those materials, I would say it's priced pretty much perfect, exactly where it should be. So yep, 10 out of 10 for the price, for the materials and the work. Smooth action and fidgetivity, oh, 10 out of 10. There is no question about it. It is so smooth. It's one of those knives that you really just got to have it in person to describe it. Yeah, it is very smooth. Let's see, I'll try to do the, oh, I could do the pointer finger flick on camera there. You can only do that with knives that are a certain level tuned in and a certain level of smooth. That I could do it on this knife on the camera. So that should tell you something. A lot of times I struggle to do certain things on the camera, but I can do it easily. You saw me do it 3 times in a row there. So yeah, that action is dialed in as perfect as you would want it to be. And yeah, this knife has one of the best actions I've ever felt on a knife, and it just continues to improve the more times that I open it. So 10 out of 10 for the action and the fidgetivity. Ease of carry, yes, this knife is very lightweight. Let's see if I bring back out that penguin. It is lighter weight than the penguin for sure. Let's see if they milled this one. They actually didn't mill it, but the titanium is very thin and has a lot of cutouts. It's kind of milled on the outside, actually. So they couldn't really mill the inside because they milled the outside here and here and there to allow these pieces of carbon fiber to fit in there. So actually there is milling, it's just on the opposite ends. So that probably is helping to make it lightweight, considering this and this penguin are about the same size in almost every aspect, and considering this has slabs of carbon fiber. I know it has steel liners, but most of the handle is made of carbon fiber. This knife weighs less. Weighs a considerable amount less, in my opinion, than the Penguin. Probably at least half an ounce, maybe even a whole one. So yeah, it definitely is lightweight. Ease of carry. This clip, very well designed. This thing slides right in and out of your pocket. Where it sits on that carbon fiber, it goes in and out very nice. And as you can see, you can lift it up. You're not going to hear much of a sound because it's landing on that carbon fiber, so you can hear a little bit of a sound. If it was landing against the titanium, you'd hear a more loud ping. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for how easy this knife is to carry and how lightweight it is. And easy to maintain, clean, and sharpen. I did mention that issue there with the possibility of a smile on the blade. Yeah, you can see I touched the blade. Nice, very nice lines on this blade to make this knife overall just clean and shiny. But I mentioned about the smile. In terms of taking it apart, you know what's crazy? The show side, if you look, there's no screws. No screws, which means they go all the way through, which means you're just going to have to take these out on this side. And then if you want the carbon fiber inserts out, you're going to have to take, there's one screw on each side to keep the carbon fiber in, because like I said, it's one solid piece all the way across. So if you want to take the carbon fiber out, you got to take those off. If you don't, you just want to take the handles off and then get the blade off. You got to take these 4 off and you're there. One of the easiest knives ever to disassemble, in my opinion, which makes it even better. So yeah, it's definitely a 10 out of 10 to maintain, clean, and sharpen. If you're somebody that's going to use this so much to where you're going to sharpen it a lot and maybe create a little bit of smile, maybe deduct a half point for that, and you could give it a 9.5 out of 10. I have so many knives, this knife will not get used that level, so I don't really have to worry about it. But yeah, overall, a great knife, great design from Kizer. I know Kizer, I'm pretty sure, don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure this knife was from the winner that the Kizer group voted on. And his knife got picked. And, you know, since this knife got picked, his knife got designed and actually made, and he gets a portion of the sales, etc. And he made a great design. I know a lot of people share their thoughts. A few people on Kizer's group, not very many. Most people love this knife and love this model. But a few people have said they have problems opening it with this thumb stud. I don't know how. I have not had any problem. I have large size gloves, and not only is it easy to do, it's one of the most comfortable thumb studs I've ever experienced. Now, maybe if you're thumb flicking it and your thumbs are just that big, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I have large size hands, and I could see my hands being bigger, you know, bigger than mine are, and I still don't think I'd have any trouble opening this knife. But, you know, who knows? Everybody's entitled to their opinions. Granted, those people that said that did not have this exact version. They had the one with the camo carbon inserts and purple hardware, but I can't see how that one would be much different. Maybe the coating is making the knife not as smooth. I'm not sure. That does happen sometimes. But, you know, I've seen people with the exact same knife get on there and be like, man, this is the greatest knife Kizer's ever made. So, you know, I guess we're getting mixed signals there. I can only rate and review the one I have in hand, and this knife here is a perfect knife, 10 out of 10 in my book. It's got the looks, it's got the action, it's got the usability, the price is right, and it's very easy to not only maintain, it's easy to carry. You can sit here and play with it all day, and it'll be as smooth as butter. I love this knife. This knife may even be my favorite knife to carry in my collection. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments. I know it's been out for a little while, but I kind of like to get a feel on knives before I review them. That's why I don't unbox a knife 1 week and then review it a few days later. I kind of like to get my real thoughts and opinions on knives before I do the reviews. so that way I can give you guys an actual honest opinion. And like I said, they are making more of these. As far as I know, they did say they were making more of these in a comment that somebody posted. They weren't able to get a certain kind they wanted, and Kizer was like, don't worry, more coming. So yeah, they are making more of these. I can't believe I didn't pull out my Kizer coin for this video. But yeah, Kizer is one of my favorite brands. They are a very good company. They make awesome knives. And if you've never had a Kizer, this would be a great first one to check out. But with that, I'll leave you guys to it. Please give the video a like. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.